We want to move on to some other headlines that we're following this morning. The caravan of migrants trying to make its way to the U.S. President Trump is praising Mexico's efforts to slow that caravan as he hurls new blame at Democrats. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is at the White House this morning with more on what the president told supporters at a rally in Nevada. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. President Trump sees that caravan as a potential political win, a way to galvanize the base on a key issue, immigration, ahead of the midterms. At the last stop on his western swing, President Trump thanking Mexico for pushing back this caravan of 3,000 Central American migrants heading towards the U.S.
Is that an incredible situation? It's sad. And it's sad, honestly, it's sad from both sides. And I want to thank Mexico. Mexico has been so incredible because now Mexico respects the leadership of the United States. They haven't done this.
Just weeks away from the midterms, Trump in Elko, Nevada, rallying for Republicans in tight races and sharpening his attacks, blaming the Democrats without any proof for the crisis on the border.
The Democrat Party, and it's openly inviting millions of illegal aliens to break our laws, violate our borders, and overwhelm our nation. The Democrats want caravans. They like the caravans.
The ramped-up offensive comes as the president threatens to take drastic measures and send the military to the border.
I will seal off the border before they come into this country, and I'll bring out our military.
On the other side of the state, former Vice President Joe Biden stumping for Democrats.
What the hell's going on in America? Ripping infants from their mother's arms at the borders. What are we doing? What have we become?
President Trump was taking shots at Biden, even asking the crowd for suggestions of a new nickname. One woman shouted "Creepy Joe," but President Trump said he wouldn't go that far. He did say, though, that he hopes that Biden will be a 2020 nominee because he thinks he can easily take him on. Dan?
Tara Palmieri reporting in from the White House. Tara, thank you very much. A lot to talk about as always. So let's bring in ABC News chief anchor George Stephanopoulos, who will be hosting this week later this morning.
Guys.
Good morning, sir. How you doing? So Trump, once again, blaming the Democrats for this caravan. Is that a charge? I mean, it's unfounded. Is it likely to stick?
Well, not only is it unfounded, the president has also been a little bit confusing on that because he's also taking credit for the caravan, saying all these people want to come to the United States because I've made the economy so strong. So if you've got that argument right there, I think it's a mix for the president. On the one hand, this whole issue of immigration certainly energizes and inflames his base, gets his voters out there. The president, that's why he's gone back to it so many times on the stump. At the same time, that family separation policy is tremendously unpopular and probably fueling opposition to the president, especially in those swing House districts, suburban House districts, where the opposition is very, very strong. So I think it's kind of a mixed bag for the president. I don't think it's going to be the top issue going into this election. And then when you look at our poll, our ABC News poll with the Washington Post, it shows that on the issue of immigration, overall, Americans trust Democrats more than Republicans.
That's interesting. We're nearly 2 weeks out from the midterms, and on your show this week, you've sent my former co-host, known around here as the defector, Paula Ferris. You've sent her to Texas, where she sat down with both of the candidates in this really closely watched Senate race there. And the Democratic challenger, Beto O'Rourke, who's running against Ted Cruz, has now resurrected this line of attack that Donald Trump used against Ted Cruz in the primaries in 2016. Beto O'Rourke called Ted Cruz Lion Ted in one of the debates. And Paula asked the candidates about that. Let's take a listen.
He called you Lion Ted.
He started insulting and attacking. And look, it's clear he and his team, they're rattled, and they've decided, all right, launch the dogs, release the hounds, as they would say on The Simpsons. Well, look, that's fine. We're going to keep focused on issues and substance.
Is that a Hail Mary desperation?
So we went through one debate where he not just mischaracterized my positions, but outright lied about them. Said I want to legalize heroin, want to take your guns away, want to do things that I've never said. We could either spend the rest of the debate listening to him lie about me, or I could point out what I think everybody needs to know.
So this is a deep red state. Does the Democrats stand any chance of winning?
Beto O'Rourke has raised an awful lot of money, something like $30 million. He's the leading fundraiser, Senate fundraiser for Democrats around the country. It's become a bit of a cult phenomenon. But as you say, this is a tough race. Texas is a red state. Cruz is fairly well known there, and it seems like he's done what he needs to do to secure that Senate seat. But, you know, one of the things we've learned in politics these last few years, anything can happen.
Yeah, really? 2016? I'm going to ask you to make a prediction, but obviously you'll do it gingerly. We're 2 weeks from Tuesday. We're going to be voting. These are very unusually closely watched midterms. How do things look in terms of for each party?
Well, we're actually going to have Nate Silver from 538 on this morning. And right now, his forecasts have Democrats have about an 80% chance of taking the House, and Republicans have an 80% chance of keeping the Senate. One of the things we're going to talk to Nate about this morning is, what does 80% really mean? I think a lot of people see that number and say, oh, well, it's a sure thing the Democrats are going to take the House, sure thing Republicans are going to take the Senate. He will explain why that's not the case.
All right, George Stephanopoulos, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And a reminder, George has a big show this morning. He's going to be speaking with two members of the House Intelligence Committee, Democrat Adam Schiff and Republican Peter King, about the death of the Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi, plus more from the campaign trail with Senator Ted Cruz and Congressman Beto O'Rourke. That's all coming up on This Week right here on ABC. George, thanks again.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.